Well, the Chiefs are now 0-2, losing to the Eagles 20-17 at Arrowhead yesterday. Kendall Gammon is here, our Chiefs insider. It is brought to you by Xfinity. Sports are unpredictable. The price of your internet shouldn't be. Introducing the 5-year price guarantee, one consistent internet price for 5 years, no annual contracts, guaranteed. Kendall, let's just start here. What is wrong with the offense right now?
And, there's a lot of things, Pete, that you can point to in the passing game, but I'm still on the run side of things. I don't think we have a great run game, and so I don't think we set things up well. I mean, when your quarterback is the leading rusher in your first 2 games, it's not even close. And I recognize he scored touchdowns with it and everything. He's competitive, but that's not what you really want from Patrick Mahomes. If it's a Jalen Hurts, yeah, that's what he does. That's his game, but the Chiefs right now just not getting chunk plays. The one big chunk play they got was at the end of the game that really, just didn't even the game up. I mean, got him close, but it was almost non-consequential. So they're having a hard time. There's no doubt about it. They need those other 2 wide receivers back, but that's not going to happen anytime soon.
No, I mean, you look at this offense, though, it just it lacks interest, creativity. It feels like it's predictable at times. And you're right. The only running game of any consequence feels like it's the quarterback, which is really not what you want. So is there any way to solve this until Rashee Rice gets back and you get some kind of a downfield passing attack underway? Or do you think it's going to be just dink and dunk and try to win these games 20-17 until he's back?
Well, you know what? They are trying to go over the top a little bit with Tyquan Thornton, Pete. And I think when it comes down to it, it is, and it's very cliche, but it is 2 games. It was 2 good teams that they've played, and they've been close. Patrick Mahomes talked about it after the game. He missed some guys, threw it a little bit early. He talked about, that interception. He was trying to put the ball on the body, inside the framework of the body and low for Travis to catch, and just he said he threw it a little bit early. Then it pops up and somebody's in the right place, and that interception and that change of events was a 14-point swing. As I said, the difference in the game. But I just think they have to keep going after it, and Andy Reid's going to have to try to scheme a little bit and get guys open a little bit quicker or easier. That being said, that's just you and me talking. That's easier said than done. So when it comes down to it, though, it was a close game. They had their chances, and you've got 15 more, and you've got to make the most of it. 0-2 is not fun. 0-3 is awful. So they've got a big task coming up, which I know we'll talk later on in the week about. But you know what? They got to keep their heads up. Defensively, I thought they played good. You hold the Eagles to 20 points, you're doing your job, quite honestly. And really, one of those is the turnover they scored on. So the defense played well.
Yeah, I was going to get to that because the defense was certainly encouraging yesterday. And if there's something that stood out to you, when it comes to these tush pushes, as they're called, these basically rugby scrums that the NFL nearly banned but decided to continue to allow, a lot of talk as to whether or not the Eagles are false starting when they're doing these plays. What are you seeing? And I know nothing's happening right now, Kendall, but should the NFL allow this play to continue?
Well, first off, you're right. I noticed it, live there. I was just like the guard's jumping early, and he did. I mean, they showed it. They showed the last one that was really important to keep a drive alive on the big screen, and it was obvious. I will give Chris Jones credit, and he was asked about it after the game, and he just said, he goes, listen, we think they are jumping off sides. But, the officials are 15, 20 feet away, and sometimes they don't see it, and you've just got to deal with it. So he said the right things, but he was right. I mean, they did jump off a couple times. Even Andy Reid was talked about it and was asked about it, rather, and he said something. As far as banning it, I personally, everybody can do that. Everybody can do, a QB sneak. I think you don't take it out of the game, even though it bit us a little bit. You don't take it out of the game. Just learn how to stop it.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you there on that. You know what? Yeah. Anyone else can do it. They've mastered it. You don't then take it out of the game because one team has decided and figured out how to master a play. So I'm with you there, but it does seem like that's gotten a lot of attention around the NFL.
Yeah, it has, and I don't understand it. And you're on my same wavelength, which is everybody gets to do it. I mean, It doesn't make sense to me. But that being said, I bet they're going to start to get some illegal procedure calls because they will get graded on the NFL officials. If people don't know, they get graded on every play, every call that they make, and every call that they don't make. And they missed a couple of calls, and it happens. It is what it is. But they will be on high alert for this now going throughout the season.
How about the interception by Mahomes? Of course, goes off the hands of Travis Kelce right into the hands of the Philadelphia Eagles. Patrick said after the game that he could have placed the ball better. I mean, you tell me, Kendall. I don't know. The ball looked like it was pretty damn well placed to me, but I don't know if that's Patrick being a leader, taking the responsibility and the blame, or if that pass could have been better and that really wasn't on Kelce. How do you see that play?
Well, I think it's a little of all of that, which is he is trying to take some blame. The pass was catchable, but I think he did actually feel like he threw it a little bit early. If you ask Travis, though, he would tell you he should have caught the ball. I mean, they're both going to stand up for that and be accountable. And that's just one of those things that doesn't happen very often because early on in the game, I was amazed. Kelce caught a ball from Mahomes down the middle a little bit. And Mahomes, I mean, he threw that ball at the back of Kelce. He was trusting that he was going to turn and be at a certain place, and he was. So these guys have a connection that's very special. But in that case, number one, could have been a little bit earlier, was catchable, and then you also the ball bounces up the perfect way, and somebody's in the right place at the right time, and that's a 14-point swing. I'll keep saying it. That's the difference in the game. Because if you look at all the stats, for the most part, they're very, very equal when it comes down to it. I know that the Eagles had the ball maybe 5 extra minutes, but everything else is very, very equal, and it was that one thing, the turnover.
0-2, you're right. Yeah. It's not disastrous. 0-3 would be disastrous, but the Giants are bad, but they took the Cowboys to overtime, so who really knows? I mean, no one's awful in this league. We know the margins are very small. It's cliche, right, but they are in the NFL. So when you're 0-2 and you've got the expectations of this team, Kendall, what is the mindset like to make sure the season doesn't spiral?
I think the big thing as a player, you have to continue the routine, and it is routine each and every day, and prepare the same way and not press. The minute that people start trying to do too much is sometimes when mistakes happen, because especially on defense, if you start to stick your nose somewhere it doesn't belong, then it opens up a spot and somebody else goes around and does something. So I think from both sides of the ball and special teams, you got to try to do your job, be sound in it, be where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there, doing what you've been coached to do, and don't press.
There you go. Kendall Gammon. We'll preview that Giants game coming up on Friday. Great job, my friend. Thanks for being here.
Sounds good, Pete. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Kendall Gammon on KCMO Talk Radio, our Chiefs insider on 95.7 FM. Did you hear the back and forth between Chris Jones and Jalen Hurts after the game, or actually at the very end of the game? It was when the Eagles were doing their kneel down, and the microphones on the field picked up Chris Jones and Jalen Hurts going back and forth on this. I think I have the audio. I don't know did you bleep it out there by chance, Mark? You got it? All right. I don't see it on the screen. Maybe I'm just losing my mind here. I can tee it up for the next segment just real quick because it was pretty funny. Chris Jones says something to Jalen Hurts. You see it over there? All right, I'm just going to let you play it. All right, here we go. Roll it. Chris Jones, if you can't hear it, goes, "We held you to under 100 yards." And then Jalen Hurts says, "Shut the bleep up. We won the game." I know we lost, but you got to laugh at that because it's a pretty good point. What are you going to say to that? Oh, my goodness. 913-408-7957 is how you join us on KCMO Talk Radio, 95.7 FM. We are streaming, as always, on the KCMO Talk Radio app.